Hi everyone, this is Keith from Miles of Smiles RVing. If you're wondering if there's service after the sale from the Lectric E-bike company, stay tuned. We're going to answer that question. There's service after the sale at Lectric Bikes. Well, I'd like to think of the answer being yes. I called Nick, who was a technician there. I'm having trouble with noise coming out of my hub, and I just received my new hub and wheel assembly here. Sent me a video. It's supposed to take 45 minutes to an hour to do the install, so we're going to give it a shot and see how it goes. The main tools are a 4mm wrench, 5mm wrench, 18mm open-end box wrench, a zip tie, screwdriver. They said a hammer, but we'll see about that. 10mm wrench. So I think we have all those tools, so we'll give it a go here. First step is to flip the bike over. And I flipped the speedometer, or the little display here. I flipped it down, so when we put it on its back here, and I'll have to take this and loosen it up and flip it down. Okay, so we flipped the bike over. The first thing we're supposed to do is take the brake caliper off. So there's two 5mm nuts under here that we got to loosen up and take the brake caliper off. Right there's one of them, and the other one's right here. Looks like they used a little sealant there. Which I guess we'll do the same when we put it back together here. All right, we got that done. We can take the caps off. The next step is to take this, that's a 4mm, I guess. Take those off both sides. Bigger than 4. It's a 5 also. This little nut here, this locks your hub in so that you can't get it wrong. I'll take the one off the other side. So we need to loosen up this nut here on this side. And on the other side, we're gonna clip this, clip that, unplug the bike, and then we're gonna loosen up our 18mm nut right there. That'll loosen this up, which we can take off, and we'll go from there. A little note I wanted to make before you do this. You put the chain down on the 7th gear there, so it's on the smallest sprocket. That way it makes it easy whenever you take it off to take the chain off the sprockets there. And also that way you remember what gear you took it off of. So next we do need two zip ties when we reassemble the bike. These are the two zip ties. Well, this is one zip tie here we'll have to cut. And right there's a piece of frame, so that's what we're going to do. Don't cut up here where the cable is, because you don't want to cut your cable. And this is supposed to pull right out. Voila, pulled right out, only goes in one way. Got a zip tie right down here too, so we'll get rid of that one. This one might be a little tricky here, so we've got to be careful. The other wire goes to the light on the back here. Okay, so we got that loose. Supposed to take this little plug here and slide it up and off. We'll put that in our little magnetic tray. Good to have one of these so you don't lose anything. So the next thing we got to do is loosen up this 18 millimeter. I think what I'm going to do is unplug the back light here and get it out of the way also. So I got another little zip tie back here. Pull it out. Try and remember which way it was threaded here. Good thing we're videoing. There, that'll give us a little more room here to get that nut loosened up. You got the protector off there. That's your little stay. Now let's get the nut off the other side, and supposedly we'll be able to pick it up and take the chain off. Pull the derailleur forward a little bit there to loosen your chain. All right. So you got to make sure whenever you put it back together, frame goes in there. You got that washer against it. On the other side, this is a locker, so that you have to get that lined up whenever you put it back in. That'll lock it in place. All right, let's see what's in the box here. Okay, so we got the box opened up. Here's what we got: a whole new tire, whole new motor assembly here. They did give me a return label because they want to look at the old hub to see what the problem was with it. As usual, Lectric likes to pack things very secure. So that's your motor cable. You got to make sure they say to put it on the right side of the bike, so we know the sprocket goes over on this side here. So let's try and put it back in here. See how we do it. Takes a little wiggling to do, but get the wire out of there. I see we got to put the washer back in there on both sides, so plus we got to get the chain on there too. It's on the right gear. So let me get the washers off the old one here. So we got to get our axle nut off here. Make sure you keep an eye on which way it comes off there, so it's like that. And then we had this one wee washer here on the inside here. Up and over our cable, and this one went on the inside of the frame here. So that one goes on that inside. I guess we can do these two here while we're here. We'll just get it started. This is the disc brake side here, and the thing you want to be careful about here is this washer here with the tabs. So you got the flat side there, you slide along the axle there. That's the only way it can go, but this tab's important because that's how it locks your wheel in. So let's go to the other side, and we got to get this to the inside. Alrighty. So we got these two pieces, three pieces here. One, so that's going to be your locker right there. Your the washer and your nut. Okay, so we got to put the guard on this side here. And you definitely want to make sure that you have this here, so the lock part is right in there, so you can put your Allen wrench. That sets the wheel in. So we'll put this in, just hand tighten the guard here. We'll just hand tighten everything for now. We'll get the cap here, put it back on. That's that one with the hole on it. It's a whole different motor.
Oh, right. Yeah. I guess that wouldn't work.
So that's our cap. We'll leave it loose because we're going to have to string it in there. We'll go over on the other side here and get it set. Now they said just to snug these up here until you put your locking Allen bolt in there. And notice up here that this set here, that little indentation there is fitting into the frame here. That's what you want. So I got a little Loctite here, the blue stuff. It's removable. I'm just going to put it on these set screws here for the frame. Just need a little dab there. You don't need a lot. We'll just start it here, and we'll get the other set screw on the other side started. You might have to tap up a little bit on the axle or whatever so you can get the set screw started. And there's a little notch on this guard here too, so you'll know you have your guard on right, because you won't be able to tighten your set screw down the whole way if you don't. Good to know. Okay, we got that snug, the other one's snug, so we can tighten up the Allens now. Wheel already looks better on there, because before mine was wobbling. I don't know if there's a bearing missing or what's going on, or a bearing going out or what's going on, but that's why we're sending it back to Lectric, because they listen to their customers, and we'll find out if there's an issue with it. Axle nuts tightened up. All right, that's good. I guess we need to slide this up on here. Plug this in. There's two arrows here that show you which way it has to be to line up. There's two arrows, one there, so you can't mess that up. Got our brake light here. Got to run it down. So this has a little groove here and a little groove on that one there, so that's how you connect these. For the brake light. So what do we have left to do here? One zip tie, two, I think there's 3 zip ties we got to do here. We got to put let's put our brake caliper on here. Okay, so I'm going to put our thread locker on here, on both right now. Just a little dab. Comes inside the frame here. There's your
pads in there. They look like they're good shape. We gotta put them in between. And line up for our bolts. I'll do the bottom one here first. Looks like it's going to be the biggest pain.
And you'll know if you got them started because they'll spin really easy. If they're not spinning easy, you might have it cross-threaded, so take your time. I'm gonna move these up a little bit each time, about the same space here. Now we'll tighten these up. Not going to over tighten them because I got the thread locker on there, so I ran into a little problem here and didn't realize, and luckily we have two e-bikes, but I want to show you something here. I'm going to have to loosen everything up and spin the axle a half a turn so that the wire that feeds the motor comes up over here instead. This is what it looks like on Charlotte's bike. And the axle's flat on two sides, so all I gotta do is go 100, loosen it up, turn the axle 180 degrees, and we'll be good to go. So that's probably a tip that might help you out if you ever have to do this. Alrighty, so yeah, I made a mistake. You need to have your motor cable coming up towards your derailleur here. So I had to take it out, spin the axle 180 degrees. So we're going to tighten up our bolts here, plug it in, put a couple new zip ties in there, so get our cables back on here. All right, let's flip it over and take a test drive. Well, I just finished taking a test drive on my e-bike. We replaced the hub motor wheel. They sent me the whole unit, and guess what? It was a success. Thank you.
Lectric Bike Company for sticking by your warranty, your great support, and it probably would have only taken an hour, and I got it in walking mode for some reason. I never knew how to get it in walking mode, and then all of a sudden it goes into walking mode because I have my hand on the, but yeah, probably would have taken an hour total time if I wouldn't have had that axle 180 degrees the other way. So I had to basically loosen everything up, spin the axle so that the motor wire was heading at a better angle. So thanks for watching, all my subscribers out there. We're over 100 right now, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please do, and that bell. Till next time, Miles of Smiles RVing.